Hello everybody and welcome to Beyond All Reason's very first Q&A session. Today we're going to be talking through a bunch of questions that have been picked up through the Discord over the last week, where we had a Google form submitted where people just put any questions they wanted. I'm going to now bring in the devs that will be joining us for this session. Let me just switch over there. Hello devs, welcome.
Hello.
So we're going to quickly go through and introduce everyone here. So, Tyvian, if you want to start.
Hi, I'm Tyvian. I do server stuff, and that's mostly it.
Ice.
I'm Ice Quick. I do graphics and sound and gameplay and making it fun as much as possible.
And Ragnar.
Hi everyone, I'm Ragnar. I'm pretty new and I'm mostly figuring things out.
Awesome. Right, so as you all know, we've got a bunch of questions. We'll go through them, and if you guys in the stream have any questions you'd like to ask, feel free to put them into the stream chat, and we will answer them as we go along when there's a break. Okay, so first question, asked by quite a few people, and one person in particular was a user named Premium. They asked, is there any concepts for experimental units for the Legion faction? And also on top of that, are there any plans to make any new factions afterwards?
Good question. So, first of all, there are concepts for experimental units for the Legion faction. There's a lot of concepts for a lot of units there. However, we are moving at whatever pace there is that Zecharos is able to make models and all that sort of stuff. So, yes, there are. And plans for new factions, there are no plans at the moment. Legion may not even make it into the game long term. We don't know where it's going with it yet. It's purely experimental.
Awesome. Okay, another question we've got here is, I believe it's to do with the lobby system. A username Premium has asked, how do the levels work in the current system?
In the current system, it is purely based on play/spectator time. So once you've hit a certain number of hours, you get a different icon, unless you are currently Ragnar and you have won the last tournament, in which case you get a special icon, which if he doesn't win the tournament tomorrow, he loses that icon.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question we've got here was submitted anonymously. Take that as you will. But the user asked, can I make content criticizing Bar, like a review? Who would like to answer that one?
Yes, very big yes, please. I think Bar did game this far because of all the feedback and people playing and testing and coming up. We couldn't have done that by no means if we didn't have that. So yeah, please do reviews, do things you like. We do it on Discord or do it in your video or do it whatever. But please be as critical as you can.
Awesome, good to hear. Is there any off the top of your head that you can remember that was like the biggest complaint that someone's put in that you've been like, yeah, and we fixed it?
No, there was so many. So not at the top of my head. No, all even small ones are quality of life improvements, and big ones can really make the whole enjoyment of the game just fundamentally better. So every feedback is welcome. Game design, that's one thing I learned is especially on Bar. There are so many things going and intertwined and working together. You need all that feedback. You can as much feedback as you can get.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question here was another anonymous submittant. But they've asked about modding tools. Is there any official modding tools planned? And if so, is there any plans for like an approved mods portal where people can reference them?
I can answer this one. So we have no official modding tools planned per se, beyond the existing things like widgets and gadgets that people can write. We are planning some tooling around certain things like mapping and campaigns, but that would be that. There are no specific plans for an approved mod portal, but if it becomes a bigger thing, I would expect that to arrive as well.
Awesome. Okay, I think the next one is probably going to be a you again, Tyvian. Matchmaking. What's the deal with that?
It's work in progress, and despite what Ragnar wanted me to say, it's not going to be ready next week. It will take at least a few more weeks. It's very much work in progress. A lot of the core functionality is in place. Recently, we introduced some server ratings and balance systems. That's a key component of that. The flip side of it, we are also waiting on some stuff with a new lobby that JazzCat is working hard on. No specific ETA yet. However, if you add yourself to the IR infrastructure role in the assigned roles and register your interest in that, you will get pings about that as and when things happen.
Awesome. Great to hear. Okay, the next one is kind of like we've already covered it somewhat, but the user asks, what are you guys planning to do for post-release content? More units, factions? They have specifically mentioned that they would like to see an orbital layer. So what's your guys' opinion on that?
Well, on the orbital stuff, I think we all are on one line, and we won't be adding that anytime soon. We have tried some things along those lines, but don't expect that to be in, nor is it planned in some way. Post-release content, we have talked about it a lot, but we also still have a lot of content to make before pre-release. Zekris is working on a new concept, a new faction, the Legion, with new units, and as you maybe already know, our factions have a lot of units, so that takes quite some time. But yeah, we do intend to do a lot of stuff post-release. I would like to keep this on the road for many years to come. So yeah, a lot of stuff is been talked about and lists are being made, but we're at the moment mostly focusing on going to the release first.
Awesome, fair enough. Okay, the next question we've got here is what about research? Will that be added to the game, like commander abilities or permanent buffs on units, similar to how other games like, let's say, Age of Empires has improvements to units?
I can take this one. I would say no, simply because the thing with Bar is that it has such a high skill ceiling when it comes to APM, with like how much you can do. There's always more that you can do in game, and research kind of detracts from that, draws your attention away from it, and that's not something that we want. Like I've seen it around in similar games, and I didn't feel personally that it worked, and I think most of us would agree with that.
Okay. How would you feel the XP system works with the game? Do you feel like that's enough for the units gaining experience and getting that extra buffs that they get from that?
So I do think it's a nice little add. For the moment, it's quite a minimal impact, with like one little exception being the gunslinger. We are testing around with more IDs with that without saying too much, so we want to see how it goes. So we're definitely open to IDs and everything, but I think it's good how it has a minimal yet somewhat impact for now. So it's something fun also. Something fun, like have a strong unit that killed a lot of units, it does better. That's a fun thing to have, I think.
Awesome. Okay, the next one we've got here is what are your thoughts on adding blueprints to the game, similar to Supreme Commander?
All right, so I would say we're definitely open to perhaps developing that, depending also on the demand and what people say and everything. But perhaps it might be something that then gets disabled for ranked play or for something like tournaments, because we don't want to automate too much either, because everything needs to be as player driven as possible, I would say. So it might be added if there's enough demand for it and made it, but maybe not for competitive play.
Okay, so if you were to say you wanted to get people's demand for it, where would you say the best place for them to go is?
Discord, of course.
Yep, awesome. And I would guess that would be the suggestions channel, correct?
It's already a full channel, but there's never enough suggestions.
Awesome. Okay, next question we've got here is, will Bar be implementing terraforming?
It kind of has, but not probably as I think the question asker implies it. We won't have terraforming like a game mechanic because, as mentioned by Ragnar as well, I think we have a really deep enough game mechanics set that can offer so much already. Adding another layer to it with custom terraforming, I think it will pollute the gameplay. We have terraforming in the form of the bigger explosions, and of course the nuclear explosions really cratering everything in the landscape. And you can already repair and restore, it's called in game, to reform the landscape to its natural form. So that's the terraforming we'd like to see. It's thanks to the gameplay and the battles that are taking place there, and not like a maybe gimmick is a bad word, but like you can create fake mountains and build a big cannon on top of it and shoot everything. We'd like to have the map offer those kind of strategic decisions, and you force the players a little bit to use the map to their advantage instead of creating their own map on the fly.
Awesome, sounds good. And I noticed that Bar has a lot of things like with the radars being in line of sight and stuff like that, where you can kind of decide in the map creation process where you think that people are going to build these units, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought going into mapping, placing the metal spots and deciding the values, where the geothermal spots are, what areas are well protected or not. So, and I think seeing the many maps that have been made in the last 6 months, which is insane, are looking and shaping up really well and offer a very varied types of gameplay.
Awesome, good to hear. By the way, guys in chat, don't forget, if you want to ask any questions, feel free to put them in into the chat as well, or we will be doing some live questions as well as the ones we've already got written down. So yeah, okay, moving on. Next one, this was raised by a user named Nilsson. They have asked, where are you at with the campaign? Can you please elaborate a bit about it?
Campaign is big, I would say. It's also really difficult, and we're super excited about it because in a way it's such a big, exciting element, and with story and everything. So we're working really hard with the story itself, with the specific scenarios and everything. But a lot of work still needs to be done with the infrastructure of it, with how the scenarios will be designed and so on. So yeah, it's a ways away, but it's really exciting to work on it and work with other people to try to get it as cool as possible.
Awesome. What would you say is your like main input into the campaign stuff, Ragnar?
For the moment, as I said in my intro, a lot of figuring out, because I think like a lot of us here, part of helping here and making these things is self-development as well, and learning how to do things and everything. So personally, I enjoy that thoroughly. This opportunity that I'm given to work on this and learn about this. So I will be very modest here and say that my input is very limited, but the first step is learning how to do it. So yeah.
Awesome, fair enough. Now, this may be a bit of a question you weren't necessarily prepared for, but co-op, is that coming to campaign?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's great to hear.
It's an absolute must, I think, and I think this game really benefits from it massively, more so than other games. There's so many tools that you can use in co-op and so I think it's a huge must.
Well, that's great. Perfect. Okay, so we're going on to a couple of questions we've just had from the chat here. Pinchy Scree has said they're looking to learn how to create maps. they've just like sorry, let me read this again. They've read through some things, but still need to get started. There's a lot of terminology and tasks. Would you guys have any advice for someone looking to get into mapping for bar?
Yeah, Beharith is our main guy behind a lot of mapping template stuff and a pretty big mapping guide, which isn't wholly 100% ready or finished, but it's something you need to walk and run through. It will teach you and learn you every aspect of map making. Also, Beharith has made a lot of good templates for various software stuff we use, and the best tip is to just jump in and start. And yes, you will, as I did as well, and I think almost all mappers will make crap at first, and it's a victory if you get it to load up and it works, and you can move your first units around, and then the learning process continues, and eventually you will speed up and maybe can do a map within. Don't get scared away, but it can still take a day or maybe more or less, but you can make maps in that time range.
And then Ice will also help you with constructive criticism and help you make it really nice. He has a very good eye for that.
Emphasis on the constructive, in all fairness. I've seen the things he says, and he is very constructive.
Absolutely.
And I'm not the only one. I think there are a lot of people, especially also new mappers that have learned the ropes, have learned how things work and which won't. So just hop on the Discord in the mapping channel and ask around, and I wouldn't be surprised you get multiple feedback within one day.
Awesome. And I was very appreciative of the map you made for me as well, Ice. So a very nice PvE map.
Well,
What's that one called again?
I'm not going to repeat it. It's got my name. If you just find my name in the map list, then you'll know what map it is.
You had a good request, you had a good sketch, you had a good idea behind it, and you are doing a lot of stuff for Bar as a contributor, as a part of the team already, and that's just a little thank you I had to make.
Yeah, it's a really fun map. I've seen a lot of people enjoy it. So
yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Ragnar, any good 2v2 strats you'd recommend? And this comes from Andy_UK.
Oh, that's so weird. Why would you ask about this? I don't understand.
Hi, Randy.
To start with getting high TS, so you avoid the good teams, I would say.
And build mexes, right? And engineers, yeah?
Mexes is good. I heard mexes are good. I heard metal makers are less efficient than mexes, so I guess you should focus more on mexes than metal makers. Just hopefully it's a good idea.
Awesome.
If I may offer some suggestion, unexpected air raid every time.
Cool. Next one we've got is from CJ_op. Are you planning?
It's just CJ.
Just CJ. Okay, perfect. Are you ever planning to make tutorials? Basically, they've gone. If not, how are you going to give knowledge to the new players, except for playing through the campaign?
Five, you want to answer this?
I'm not making the tutorials. No, we have a few different people who are making tutorials. We've got various people who are part of the team who are making tutorials, and we have various people who are not part of the team who enjoy making content and are going, yeah, guys, I've got a following. Here's how you play this game that I've just found. So it's really a community-driven thing with a few of the contributors who are targeting specific things. That's the main thing. Also, we have a welcoming community, which is always a good thing. Quite a few people join some of the games, and they'll go, right, okay, what do I do here? And they'll get smushed the first few times, but they'll pick it up. It's how I learned.
I saw a couple of 4 different videos from a new player, Sorry, I need to check that, but he does quite a nice basic introduction to. But regarding in-game tutorials, maybe CJ is referring to that as well. That's something we've been talking and discussing about quite a long time. and we have very interesting ideas there. We also have quite elaborate schemes and designs and systems to be implemented. We need to think about the balance, how the campaign and generic tutorial stuff are balanced, if they need to be intertwined or not, or separate things. And that's if that's finished, we're decided on that, then you will likely see more tutorial stuff in game for our focused on new players, of course, but in game. And I think we have some pretty neat new stuff in there.
Would you say they're probably going to be released the same amount of time as the campaign is? So when the campaign's done, the tutorials will be basically at the same time?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Imagine using the same tools to create them as well, so those need to be finished first.
Awesome. Okay, next one we've got is from, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, I'm afraid, so I'm just going to call you Blob.
Blobsky.
Blobsky, there you go. My friends keep asking if we can play as the chicken race. Is there any change for chickens in the future, otherwise known as Raptors? So, I think the best person would have spoken about that would have been Damgam, but Damgam's not with us. So, out of which one of you would you think would be the best person?
I think you can answer that yourself.
I was going to say, yeah, Reckon, you can do this.
No?
Okay, so yes, you can play as chickens. So what you do is you put one or more of you with chickens on your team, and then you will be able to control the chicken. It is not designed to be done like that. It is very haphazard, and it is a nightmare to control everything. It also completely screws with balance, so make sure you're the one doing the chickens first. Obviously, don't tell your friends about this.
Finished one of those games this day with my son, and it was great.
I remember why you said that now, because I've played as the chicken before, like a couple of months ago. Yeah, it's quite hard if you're playing against people that know what they're doing as well. So
Most of scavengers too, right?
yes,
Yeah, same principle.
Yeah, so you can play as scavengers. Same way of doing it. Scav boss is OP, so yeah, hold out till then. Cool.
As for the second half of the question, we can't answer that because we're not Damgam, but I would expect the Raptors just to be generally improved and refined.
I have heard Dgun talk a bit about thinking about making it a proper faction with proper metal energy things. So the ideas are there, but not sure when or if.
Fair enough. And if you would like to get involved with that and kind of shape it yourself with the help of the team, I suggest you get into the Scavengers or the Raptors channel in Discord, and that's the place to go for that. Okay, so moving on, Ragnar, I think you might be the best person to ask for this one. What are your tips for players who just can't seem to improve at bar no matter what they try?
I would say first and for all is look what's fun for you. And I know it sounds like a cheesy answer, but honestly, I feel like playing a game is it's a free time fun activity, right? So I think works for you. There's so many game modes as well, like the chickens / Raptors, and other game modes that you might enjoy most of all, and that's the most important part. But if you really if you want to be competitive and you want to win and you're trying to get better, watching replays, super important, and not just replays where you win, but especially the replays where you lose. See what the opponent did that you didn't do, or look around at what you missed and everything. But maybe even better than that, watch my YouTube videos. There you go. You're welcome.
Yeah, they are good.
Very subtle.
Is there anywhere where people can get access to replays that they haven't necessarily taken part in? So if they see you, for example, do a 1v1, where would be the best place to watch that?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, obviously the website. On the website you can just download every replay. Second of all, you can also check the replays channel in Discord, where people post full replays, or you can ask for replays, or you can even post replays. Quote me in there and say, "Hey Ragnar, I lost. I don't know why," and then I will make a video about it, roasting you about all the things you did wrong and what you could have done better.
Awesome. So yeah, if you want to get roasted, then definitely at Ragnar. Next question we've got here is from a user called Pimps. I think we've already actually covered this now, but they've mentioned, are you going to create a tutorial, which we've discussed, wiki pages, or anything about advanced tactics for bar. So in terms of like tactics, I've got some YouTube videos myself that kind of teach you how to play bar. They're more basic for new people, but there is also the website has a lot of guides here that kind of go through. I say a lot, there's a few of them, and they're being added over time, which I've just posted in chat for you there that Ice has already done. And yeah, they'll be added over time, and that's the place to go for them, basically. Awesome. So next question. This is from The Red Baron. Would it be possible to make unit transportation easier?
Yes. Not only is it possible to make it easier and better, extension, it's one of the requirements that we've put up on ourselves for the Steam release, which I'm sure we'll come to at some. It's considered the key thing. It is workable at the moment, but it is not up to the standard of quality that we are expecting.
Is there any sort of template as to what you want to get to for the transportation stuff?
No, we don't have a specific idea at the moment. It could be just that it needs to be nice and easy to use. We might have something like auto transport widget where when you produce something for the factory, it's automatically transported to the front line. We don't have a specific plan in place just yet, unfortunately.
Okay, so as Dragon has just asked, would that be something similar to the ferry mechanic from Subcom?
Completely, yeah. It's one of the inspirations for it. There's actually a widget in the game at the moment which you can enable, which is the troop transport widget. It is buggy as anything. You'll end up with transport stalling, units getting lost, but it implements the idea, and it's a good example where we have something that in theory works, but doesn't work well enough for our stats.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Okay, next one is from a user called Nucleus38. They would like to help translate the game. When would the code be ready for translation? And is there an I18N Discord channel for this?
Shall I do it? Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Thank you first for wanting to help to translate the game. Yes, the code isn't ready yet, as you already know. But just go into the Discord language channels and be sure to ask for Watch the Fort. He's the lead on the I18N translation stuff, and he still has some things to do, and we're not finished yet for the translation. So we have kind of decided to wait for that first, and then ask everybody. But please join the people. There are more people already in there wanting to translate. So please, come on and join those channels.
Perfect. Another development style question here from a user called Whiskey Lover. Are you still looking for help with development? If so, what sort of skills are in high demand right now?
Bye.
So we've got the normal sort of development skills. So that's where you're coding, you're a hardcore developer, and the four main languages would be C++, Lua, Elixir, and TypeScript/Vue. Those are if you want to be a developer. However, the game is far more than just coding and development. We've not put it on the website yet, but we have like an organizational chart that we created a few weeks ago, which sort of outlines the different areas of creation, and development is purely one area of that. We've got things like mapping, sound, translation was just mentioned, content creation in the form of like guides and tutorials. You've then got promotion. We have a whole bunch of people who are specifically a promotion team. If you've got someone running our Twitter, for example, I think we have Instagram. I don't know. I don't follow social media. And then you've also then got people within the community who would like help new users and answer questions on the Discord. All of those things will help us build a better game, and they will help us build it faster, if that's where you're going with that one.
Awesome. So if they wanted to get involved, where would be the best place for them to get in contact?
Once we get onto the website, the organizational chart will have a name with each section, saying basically like, this is the person who heads up that section, and if you contact them, they can give you all the pointers. Until then, though, jumping into the Discord, finding what looks like the right sort of channel. So if you're looking for mapping, for example, there is a mapping channel, and ask in there. And if it's the wrong place, someone will point you to the right place, and it'll be very quick to find out where you need to go.
Awesome. So we've got a question here from a unknown user. They said they've seen a lot of performance work being done. What is the end go-to in terms of amount of units on screen whilst maintaining full sim speed?
Well, I just spoke to one of the amazing contributors, developers on this Tarnished Night, who's done a lot of major improvements in the last 2 years at least. It's hard to focus this down onto a specific digit of units. What we all want is to make bar playable, better playable for as much people or more people than before. So our main aim is to make also the bigger games playable very well on the lower end hardware. So people that could hardly or have issues or slower sub 30 frame rates in the bigger team games will be able to be above that and enjoy their game just more. That's our main aim, and generally we're just trying to get the most out of it. There are still quite some things to improve, to change the system or do more multi-threaded subsystems, and it can improve a lot, as I have been told by Tarnished Night and others. So yes, we're trying to maintain as much sim speed for 100% sim speed for as much players as possible. And yeah, there will be a point when there is the benefit of the amount of work that has to go in will of course balance and shift, and then we might call it okay, we're almost like done. But we still have quite a lot to improve, and I think the last 2 years have proven that we are capable of that. And yeah, so that's
awesome.
it.
Great. Okay, so we've got a couple of live questions here from Sour Cygnus. Any heads up on what to expect from the next engine update?
Mine says there'll be most engine updates are general improvements. It should run faster. It will, for lower end machines, a lot of the time it'll run faster in particular. I don't have a changelog for the engine at the moment. Tarnished Knight is in the chat though, and he would be potentially able to answer.
Tarnished, if you want to type in the in the thing chat, if there's anything there that's useful for them, that'd be great. Or link to a changelog if you've got one, that'd be perfect.
We usually, when we post a changelog or something in the news, we usually scroll back in time and see what were the major things, and talk to the various people to make lists, and then eventually list that. That should change because we do want to have a more actual status list, and we can answer this right away, but we can't at the moment.
Awesome. And then we've got one from CJ again. What about mods such as Umbacom and Legion? How are they going to be integrated into the final game, or are they going to be just kept as mods?
Everything is up for grabs, and then again, everything is discussable in a way, and then again, who knows? I would say for now we're testing, we're seeing what sticks, what doesn't stick, what we like, what we don't like, what everyone likes, what everyone doesn't like. No answer there, I don't think. And that's the benefit in a way of a beta, is that you can test things. That's the fun part. Alpha, even better.
Still alpha.
Alpha plus.
Yeah, alpha plus. There you go.
Cool. So it's basically anything and everything is still currently on the table. No decisions have been made as to whether anything's getting kicked or not kicked, sort of thing.
okay with the idea that we like the game, right? We like how it is, we enjoy it, and yeah, we don't exactly want to make a new game, a different game that is not this, but we're very open to ideas, with the idea of we like the current game.
Awesome.
I would say, like, that's how I perceive it, at least.
Then one from Premium here. Do you guys think you could explain a timeline of each major update? So, like, how does the decision process go? What's the kind of like time frame between big updates? Would you say on average?
I think we should pull the TM. It's done when it's done.
Yeah.
TM. Yeah, I've been trying to make sense of that in the last 2-3 years, and it all depends. There isn't a simple system that we run through. It really depends on the complexity and the scale and the amount of things that needs to be tested or are linked to other systems to be able to tell when we can do an engine update or not. Not sure if that answers the questions, but
I was going to say, it's also worth noting in terms of if you talk about timeframes, that unlike a normal company, everyone who contributes to this is a volunteer, and they're volunteering their time. So that has two complications. One, their time is very variable, and two, people can choose what they want to work on. You know, Ice Quick is an admin. He can tell me, Tyvian, work on this first, and I can decide if I want to.
And then he goes on holiday for 3 weeks and he does nothing.
Yeah, should have chosen better, shouldn't you? But it's quite important to keep that in mind when you're asking about features and say, oh yeah, when will this be done and stuff like that. It's a case of developer interest is a real resource on this.
And I guess that's also why a lot of the features are implemented if a lot of people like them, because then there's like enthusiasm for it. There's like, oh, people enjoy this, well, let's work on this. So feedback of it. Okay.
Yep, it's very much true.
We've got a question here, but I'm not quite sure what he means. Mighty Sheep, could you possibly elaborate more on your question that you put in, please?
I don't think he meant anything by his question at all.
You sure?
Yeah. If it's the question I'm looking at, has anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he means anything by that one at all. I think he's being silly.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, I'll just move on.
Fair enough. Okay, so next question then. Probably the big one that was asked by like the majority of the messages that I received for.
Is it about my shirt?
No. Oh. Definitely not about your shirt. This question was asked by Premium, Roos, Synthseer, and a bunch of other people that were anonymous, and that is, do you have any more information about a release to Steam?
Yes. So, as with the org chart, this will be appearing on the website when we get a chance. In the meantime, if you scroll up in the announcements of the Discord, you'll see with the org chart, there's a post, we've also released our Steam release roadmap. As per the last answer, we don't have a time frame at all. It very much depends on dev work and dev interest, or dev time and dev interest. But we have outlined musts, shoulds, and wants for the Steam release. They may tweak slightly if something important comes up, but for the most part, we have now set goalposts, and we're not going to be adding new things to it. Someone might go, oh, brilliant, I've got this really good idea. Fantastic. Unless it's really important that it's not being added to the list, we're not moving goalposts anymore. We're hoping to have something next year, but that's a hope at most. Like, it might be later, we don't.
I know you're wanting to get to that, like, should we say, final stage before it even enters, like, early access on Steam, for example.
Yeah, so there's a number of musts in there, and we need to hit all of those before early access. So some of those musts are things like internationalization, or the I-18N thing that came up earlier, certain infrastructure things. I think the campaign might be a must as well. Then, several things around that where if we don't have those, it will have an incredibly bad experience. So speaking from the server side, if we don't have the infrastructure things done, everyone will connect, and then they will disconnect, and that will happen over and over again. It'll be a lot of fun for me as I run around going, oh no, everything's on fire, and zero fun for all the players who suddenly can't play.
So this is fine meme with the dog sat around the fire, yeah.
No. That's well past that. This is fine. It's a long way past that.
So we did just get a couple of questions come in now. Sour Cygnus has asked, are the unit model animations final? They're very nice, but I'm just curious if there may be any differences in the future. Ice, maybe?
Yeah. I was thinking. Well, we have as in I think Behareth did the most, but there is set up a really nifty animation link converter tool between Blender and the engine and the technical stuff, and that makes animating units a lot easier and a lot more powerful than ever before. But I think we touched up all the animations for all bots at least, and we also did the Raptors. But well, I won't say never, but I think most of them are pretty neat and well done, and some get updated in the last few months as well. So please do suggest some animations you think are not as good as they could be, or new ideas, and share them in Discord and try to get traction from others as well, so the chances are higher we pick it up.
Oh, I think the stuff like the pawn doing the push-ups is absolutely amazing. I think those things can be added.
I'm not sure if it was my idea, but I didn't implement it, and I only saw it like 2 months later when I think Behara said, "Did anybody notice anything weird?" He did multiple of those, so there are more of those to find.
I've only ever seen the pawn doing the press up so far. That's all I've seen. Keep an eye out for more.
Apparently there's a grunt one. I've not seen it yet.
Oh.
Spoiler. There's another one.
So there's another question here from Pinchy Scree. Will the modern set of music in the game have its own YouTube playlist?
Maybe, but I'm not sure. We do love the modern track, but I think we should ask for the rightful owners as well if we want to promote them more. I think there won't be any problem because they did release them freely, but maybe it's worth to get them on the YouTube. Yeah, we did do that because of the many requests we got from the new orchestral version. So maybe, but not in the next week.
And that would probably be going on Bar's official YouTube, correct?
Correct, yes.
Awesome. So wouldn't be so kind as to drop that in the chat for people. That'd be great. Okay, so last chance, guys. We're moving on to the final question here. If you've got any more questions you'd like to get in before we round this up, here's your chance. Okay, so can we get... This is from Goopy, actually. Can we
skip it straight away.
He said, can we get different coloured D-guns as prizes for tournaments?
Does he mean the gun that the commander's holding or the projectile?
I would presume the projectile.
You should have asked that then.
What shall we do, guys? What shall we do?
I don't do modelling, so I can't answer this.
It's not modelling, it's just a fact. I think we can do that.
It sounds cool.
I love the idea. Yeah, it's interesting.
Would we have
I will
one
note
colour?
it down right now.
One colour for each tournament that happens, so then you can specifically tell who won it.
Would you be able to do different effects? So obviously the D at the moment is like a ball. Could you have like a ball with spikes coming out of it, or lightning, or something like that?
If we can do different colors, then we can do everything. Yeah.
That might be.
There you go, Goopy. You've just come up with a whole brand new idea for them.
Goopy, bloopy, green shit. Yeah, could be cool.
Blobsky has actually said he'll never win a tournament in a million years. Can we just buy the cosmetics instead?
We have no specific plans on any monetization at the moment. Long term, we'd love for people to be able to give us money beyond just donating, but we don't have any specific plans.
So would you say there may be some free different versions of D-Gun stuff, or are we more thinking that it's just... No idea. Sorry, I'm
No-
trying to pry too far into something that's literally just been decided as a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out about it 30 seconds ago, and I don't think there's any official dev policy on this yet for some reason. I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Blobsky actually just brought up another question, which is: has anyone contemplated workshop support for Steam?
It's been contemplated, however, it's not been looked into yet. So I don't know how hard it will be to integrate our infra, and by infra I mean like the player infra, with Steam, and mods and workshop. I don't know how easy it will be to integrate those. I would hope it'll be easy, and if it's easy enough, we would love to do it because it's a great feature. You know, I play RimWorld with like 200 plus mods. I want to play Bar with 200 plus mods.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, speaking about tournaments, I hear there's something coming up soon.
Yes, tomorrow we have our next big tournament. It's a 2v2. Ragnar, are you playing in it or something, or did you lose your elimination? I don't know.
Oh, that's what's in my calendar for tomorrow.
Oh,
thanks for
okay.
reminding me.
You're gonna play like that, are you? Okay.
No.
Because I'm casting and I can't wait to say horrible things about your play and point out whenever you build like a metal maker or something.
Well, okay, I'll make sure not to. All right.
Yeah, because I mean you normally build so many. No, we have the tournament tomorrow. It is 3 p.m. GMT time, 2 p.m. UTC. I don't know. It'd be really helpful if like one of the people casting it actually knew what time everything was, wouldn't it?
That would
2
help.
o'clock UTC.
2 o'clock, perfect. Yeah, so there's going to be Tarnish Knight will be hosting, and then myself and Rezot Mock will be doing some casting. We have a couple of backup casters just in case there's a problem. We have 6 2v2 teams in a couple of round robins, I believe it is, and it should take most of the day. It should also be quite exciting.
Awesome. Where's that going to be on? Where can people go and watch that?
That will be on the twitch.tv/Beyond All Reason official. If you're in the Discord, there, click on events and add yourself with interest to the event. Will ensure that the link for the event is updated. At the moment, it's got a form for the link is to a form to submit that you want to join the tournament. That's now closed. We'll update that with a link to the actual. There we are. Icequick has just posted that into the Twitch.
Perfect.
So yeah, subscribe/follow that, and you'll get a notification tomorrow, hopefully.
Okay, cool. So, all right, last 2 questions then, guys, before we end up here. In terms of the tournament, can we still donate to pump up the prize pool from Nilsson?
I assume so. Contact Taku or PTAC on the Discord. He's the one who's organising it, and he will handle things like that.
Awesome.
I would imagine so, but you never know.
Yeah.
So CJ has also mentioned, said that he knows trailers usually come after a Steam release, but are you planning to make a trailer for Bar as alpha to gain more players?
Well, we have a trailer, and if someone makes another trailer, we'll be thrilled.
And where can they find the one that's currently available?
I don't know. I don't keep on pasting it places, but I know that there is a trailer. So I know there is one somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty badass too. with nice
It is
music and
good.
everything.
Irish Whiskey made it, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it's probably on the YouTube somewhere, but I can't seem
I
to
would
find
imagine
it
so,
right
yeah.
now.
You will be able to see it tomorrow, because I know that Tarnish Knight is planning to use it as like part of the intro.
Well, there you go then, guys. Oh, I've got a question. Will there be a return of the Christmas hats?
No comment.
No comment.
Ah. I just sort of saw the YouTube video. Cool. I was scrolling down and saw it.
That'll need to go through the GDC. Sorry, that's not a decision that we can just make. Sorry.
Damn it. Okay, cool. Right. Right, this is the very last question. Sour gets the very last question. Here we go. Are there any guidelines or rules for promotion, or we can just shamelessly advertise everywhere?
Contact PTAC, coordinate PTAC. So we have had things in the past where Taku, PTAC is how you spell it, but Taku is how you pronounce it. Though better if you're Polish. Taku has had some things in the past where we have overloaded certain subreddits, for example, with posts about it, and it's not gone down so well. So it's really important that the promotional team coordinate with each other so that we don't go, oh yeah, here's 5 posts about Bar, which Bar was great, don't get me wrong, but most places wouldn't appreciate 5 posts all at once, for example. So coordinate with Taku. He will, he'll fill you in on the relevant details and stuff like that.
Awesome.
But you can always reply and comment on stuff and tell what you think about Bar. Just be yourself and
Make YouTube videos, post it on your website, everything.
Awesome. All right then, guys. Well, thank you all very much for being here today on a Saturday evening. Appreciate it. I think that will be it for us for today. Thank everyone in the stream for coming. We'll do another one of these some point in the future. Keep your questions in mind so that you can jot them down for me for next time. And that's it. You guys want to say bye?
Yeah, I want to say thank you, Requiem. You spent a lot of time and effort setting this up, organising, pushing for it to happen. You've been pushing for this like months now, I remember. And finally it's come around, and you've put a lot of effort into this, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
That's fine. No problems. I'm glad I could be of assistance. Okay. Yeah. Right, guys.
Thanks.
Well, yeah. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
enjoy Bar.